Christ, this Officer 5000, Jeremiah, the camp leader of Atlanta. Passover 2025, starting April the 9th, we got the lamb slaughter. April the 10th, we got General Muhammad's class. April the 11th, we got the black party that's gonna have the Hebrew graduation. April the 12th, in Atlanta, Georgia, the 56th annual Passover, the only Passover under commended junior honor.
Our great and holy King has honored us for turning our lives from the darkness to the light, man. There's no greater gift you can receive than to wake up to the truth and then commit your life to saving your brothers, man. Looking in their eyes and seeing their faces and seeing what they've suffered and what they've gone through and seeing the end of it, man. It is a guaranteed seat in the kingdom of heaven, man. So in the name of our King Yahushua, we dedicate us another Passover of brothers and sisters' lives being saved.
April the 13th, we got the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Shalom.
ISUPK presents the Lord's 56th annual Passover going down right here in Atlanta, Georgia. We got a whole bunch of events lined up for y'all, including the annual lamb slaughter. You already know. Then it's the Hebrew Academy trials. Oh boy. Next we got the children's party. Then you know we got General Muhammad's scripture breakdown class and the Hebrew Academy graduation. The Lord's 56th annual Passover. Pay your Passover fee. It's only $200 to get all these exclusive events. Real black culture. The general's in attendance and the stage is set. It's going down. April the 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. This event is only for the black, Hispanic, and Native indigenous people. We got a week full of events from April the 9th and the 13th. But remember, you gotta pay that Passover fee. It's only $200 to get every event exclusively. Here's the itinerary for the Lord's 56th annual Passover. April the 9th is the annual lamb slaughter. April the 10th is the kids party. At 7 p.m. later that night, General Muhammad's scripture breakdown class. April the 11th, the Hebrew Academy graduation. Later that night at 8 p.m. it's the all-black party. April the 12th is the Lord's 56th annual Passover. April the 13th is the Feast of Unleavened Bread. $200, 17 years or older, pay your Passover fee. See you in Atlanta, Israel. Shalom.
To Atlanta. Christ, this Officer 5000 to Atlanta. Christ, this Officer 5000, Jeremiah, the camp leader of Atlanta. Passover 2025, starting April the 9th, we got the lamb slaughter. April the 10th, we got General Muhammad's class. April the 11th, we got the black party that's gonna have the Hebrew graduation. April the 12th, in Atlanta, Georgia, the 56th annual Passover, the only Passover under commended junior honor.
Our great and holy King have honored us for turning our lives from the darkness to the light, man. There's no greater gift you can receive than to wake up to the truth and then commit your life to saving your brothers, man. That's right. Looking in their eyes and seeing their faces and seeing what they've suffered and what they've gone through and seeing the end of it, man, it is a guaranteed seat in the kingdom of heaven, man. So in the name of our King Yahushua, do we dedicate us another Passover of brothers and sisters' lives being saved?
April the 13th, we got the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Shalom.
Yeah, I'm here by myself, and it seems like everybody don't want to show up.
You need help with something?
We're live, and we are live. Let's get it together. Give us 1 second, Salakia. Let's say a few difficulties. Yeah. Hold on. Salakia for the lateness. You understand? A little technical difficulties. As always, the oppressor is the devil. The Bible speaks of. All right. Marv, sorry you could just fix my camera real quick for the class. There's these big screen. The big screen, Bible shot. What's going on? Help me. All right. Good. Hey, there we go. All right. Let me adjust this real quick. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Bring it down just okay. I can do that. Why? Bring it down just a taste. Just a taste. Yeah. Right there. All right. All right, we good to go. We look good. All right, we feel good. All right, people in the class. All right. Clap it up. Yeah. Shalom, family. Austin, help her out. Y'all Bashim Shah Brakathon to my brothers. Y'all Shema Athon Bashim Shah to my sisters. You understand? You know what time it is. You know what day it is. And guess what? It's Thursday, okay? Understand? And welcome to a special class, all right? Once again, not because I'm teaching, all right? But today is a Memorial Day, all right? Believe it or not, today is a feast day that is actually found in the Bible, you understand? And this feast right here, I can more than likely guarantee you have not heard it, you understand, if you are a Christian, okay? This is one of the books in the Bible that essentially goes untouched. You understand? Untouched, untalked about. You understand? It's like the church is actually more afraid of this book than Revelations. Barbasar, isn't that something? Think about that. You understand? If you were ever in church, all right, and you might have touched Revelations every now and then, right? But now this book right here, you always breeze right over it. You understand? It gets so bad. You're like, why is it even here? All right. But this is a very important book. You understand? We're going over the book of Esther, okay? And tonight is actually the Feast of Purim. You understand? The Feast of Purim. All right. You can find this in the book of Esther, okay? And this is a very special book. You understand why? Because this highlights, You understand? Actually, the power of the black woman when she is in righteousness. All right. The power of the black woman when she is in righteousness. You understand? When she has righteous leadership as well. You understand? All right. So we're going to get right into it. Okay. So now, Salaki, you understand? I realized that we did start a little late. Okay. But also, we have a lot of verses to go over. So we're going to try to move as as speedily as possible. You understand? Without going too fast. And of course, if we're going too fast, you can please, we can always double back and just let us know. Okay. All right, see my mouse real quick. We about to get into the lesson. All right. Cool beans. Y'all man Justice checked in. Okay. All right. We seeing people checking in already. Most High Christ. Again, the water for checking in with us. It's good to see everybody. So like it for our delay. All right. Absolutely. Excellent. All right. So now let's get to it. So again, we have the Feast of Purim, okay? And of course, you know what I'm saying? Before we get all the way into a feast, okay, you understand? We'd like to give a little bit of context, you understand? A lot of good background to help you understand the significance and also the gravity of this memorial. All right? So let's start with it, okay? So now we're going to start in the book of course, the book of Esther. Understand chapter 1, verse 1. Okay. And I'll just go ahead and read in the meantime. The book of Esther, chapter 1, verse 1. Now it came to pass in the days of Ahasuerus. This is Ahasuerus, which reigned from India even unto Ethiopia, over 107 and 20 provinces. You understand? Like, just think, man, his kingdom, you understand? I mean, it stretches, all right? You understand? Like, you can think that this kingdom here goes from let's say Atlanta, you understand, all the way down to man, past Macon, you understand? Probably all the way down past Savannah and to Tallahassee. Okay, you understand? This is a lot. Okay, 27 provinces. Man, that's a lot of work. All right. Cool beans. And Marcel, if you could grab your microphone whenever you can. All right. Verse 2, that in those days when the king Ahasuerus sat on the throne of his kingdom, which was in Shushan, the palace, in the 30th year of his reign, he made a feast unto all his princes and his servants, the power of Persia and Media, the nobles and princes of the provinces, being before him, you understand, right? And when he showed the riches of his glorious kingdom, you understand, the honor of his excellent majesty, many days, all right? Just think now, his party, you understand, I mean, like, he's celebrating himself for days on end, you understand? Like, this could go for like months. All right. Take a look at it. All right. And the honor of his excellent majesty, many days, even 104 days. All right. So now just think, you understand? You want to put this in American terms. All right. Well, how many days are in a year? You understand? In today's time, what, 365? Right? 365. He's having a festival. You understand, for what? 104 score. Right, I believe four score is what, 20. That might be what, 180 days. So maybe like half the year, he's partying, he's turning up. All right, and he's celebrating himself. Right, he's celebrating all his kingdom and everything. It's all his riches and his wealth. All right, verse 5. And when these days were expired, the king made a feast unto all the people that were present in Shushan, the palace, both unto great and small, 7 days. All right. Even after his festival, he has another festival just to turn up. Go ahead, sis. Yes. What chapter and verse are you? Okay. Currently, we're in Esther, or we're right at chapter 1. Okay, and we're currently at verse 5. All right. Continuing on. And when these days were expired, the king made a feast unto all the people that were present in Shushan, the palace, both unto great and small, 7 days, in the court of the garden of the king's palace. where were white, green, and blue hangings, fastened with cords of fine linen, and purple to silver rings and pillars of marble. The beds were of gold and silver upon a pavement of red and blue and white and black marble. You understand? Like, yo, just describing his castle, you understand? Just describe everything, you understand? Like, this man is him, right? He is rich upon rich upon rich, you understand? Racks on racks on racks on racks, you understand? Verse 7. And they gave them drink in vessels of gold. All right. Just think, you understand, you know that if you familiar with the crunk area, all right, you understand, you had the pimp's cup. All right. Now here, everybody in that palace is drinking out of gold cups. You understand? Right? The vessels being diverse one from another, and roll wine in abundance, according to the state of the king. Right? Verse 8. And the drinking was according to the law. None did compel, for so the king had appointed to all the officers of his house that they should do according to every man's pleasure. You understand? Like, hey man, you could do whatever you wanted to. All right, you partying with the king, right? Verse 9. And Vashti, the queen, made a feast. And Vashti, the queen, made a feast for the women in the royal house, which belonged to King Ahasuerus. And on the 7th day, when the heart of the king was merry with wine, he commanded Mahuman, Mishtar, Harbana, Bigtha, and Abagtha, Zathar, and Carcass, the 7 chamberlains that served in the presence of Ahasuerus the king, to bring Vashti the queen before the king with the crown royal, to show the people and the princess her beauty, for she was fair to look at. You understand? And now the king has all his kingdom, he has all his promises, all his wealth, his riches. You understand? Then look at it. He wants to show his woman off. He wants to parade her in front of everybody and saying, "Hey, lady, look what I got. Look what I got." All right. But then let's look at something. But the queen Vashti refused to come to the king's commandment by his chamberlains. Therefore was the king very wroth, and his anger burned in him. Understand? Just think. All right, this man here rules over what 104 and 27 provinces, cities. All right, this man is he's not just some mayor, the governor. You understand? This man is king. All right, he has all this property, a big kingdom. Right, everybody essentially bows in that region. They bow to his whim. Understand? He has power. He's the man. He's him. But this one lady who's supposed to be by his side, you know what I'm saying, supposed to be essentially a representation of him, she refuses to follow a command, a simple command. You understand? She wants to be uppity with him and show off, right? Verse 13. Then the king said to the wise man, which knew the times, right? Remember now, they're supposed to be celebrated, okay? For so was the king's manner toward all that knew law and judgment, all right? And the next unto him was Karshena, Sathar, Amatha, Tarshish, Meres, Marcina, and Memucan, and the 7 princes of Persia and Media, which saw the king's face, and which sat the first in the kingdom. You understand? Like, these guys are like his advisors and everything like that. All right. Verse 15. What shall we do unto the queen Vashti according to the law? Understand? She doesn't want to obey. What are we going to do with her? Right? Because she have not performed the commandment of the king Ahasuerus by the chamberlains. Sis?
Was there a reason given why she wasn't obeying?
No, we never see. I haven't seen it. All right. It's just that, hey, he wants her to come out. He wants to show off. Like him. But she just doesn't want to do it. We can imagine that he just wanted to show her off. Like a prize, like a trophy wife. You understand? And she just got tired of it. She just did not want to do it. Right?
Wow.
Yeah. Go ahead.
That sounds like you can't tell me what to do.
Very good.
A form of feminism and what do you call it? I'm empowered.
Yeah, like women's empowerment, right? Yeah. Interesting, right? So let's see some more. Okay. And it says, verse 17. It's like it. Excuse me, verse 16. And Mumakan answered before the king and the princess, Vashti the queen have not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes and to all the people that are in the provinces of the king Ahasuerus. Understand? Like, this is something. Now, we just think we have a woman in power. You know what I'm saying? She's a representation of the king, right? But now she doesn't want to obey the king. So now, if she doesn't, if the queen does not want to obey the king and refuses to do it, what will this say about other women in the kingdom? You say who don't have that kind of power, sis?
They'll probably follow along with it. It's like, be the queen.
Right.
Why should we?
Right. Absolutely. Very good. Right. All right. Have not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes and all the people that are in the provinces of the king also, right? That's right. This will not just affect people in high places, but also people in low places as well. You understand? Those men who work the 9 to 5, you understand? They got the blue collar jobs, you understand? They got the labor jobs. It's going to get to the point where even though their women don't want to listen to them, right? Verse 17, for this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women, so that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes. Understand? When it shall be reported. The king Ahasuerus commanded Vashti the queen to be brought in before him, but she came not. Likewise shall the ladies of Persia and Media say this day unto all the king's princes, which have heard of the deed of the queen, this shall there arise too much contempt and wrath. You understand? Now, essentially, you have like the roles, you know, what I'm saying, of the roles of the king and the queen, the roles of a husband and wife. Now they're being turned upside down. You understand? Of course, now when they're being turned upside down, they're abnormal, and of course, this is going to cause a lot of problems. All right, and also just think, this is interesting because we're just talking about one relationship. One relationship, you understand, throughout this whole kingdom. Right? And now, if this relationship is broken, it can affect everybody's relationship. Right? It can affect everybody's. And of course, just think when relationships are broken in the community, then what else can be broken? Friendships, relationships, families can be broken. You understand? And then you have like just the community itself, right? Because of one relationship that people are looking up to. Just think real quick on how we have like our so-called celebrities, right? And you think of you see them, you say, oh wow, they've been together for so long. You know, say, how do they make it work? But then when you see them in the spotlight and now their relationship it falters, you know, saying it becomes broken. Then what happens? You start to say, man, if their relationship is going to break after so much pressure, you know what I'm saying? I mean, now what kind of relationship would I have? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't even have that kind of power. Right? And then what happens? You won't even believe that you can have a good relationship. You understand? And now you're going to hurt other people just because you believed in one relationship that broke. Right? Let's keep going though. Verse 19. If it please the king, let there go a royal commandment from him, and let it be written among the laws of the Persians and the Medes, that it shall not be altered, that Vashti come no more before King Ahasuerus, and let the king give her royal estate unto another that is better than she. All right. Now that's interesting as well. Just think. Earlier in the week, I saw a video from Captain Cesario, and he talked about the ex-wife of Nelly. Did anybody hear about this?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So the ex-wife of Nelly, she wanted to, I guess, like punish Nelly or something like that. And, you know what I'm saying? And she wanted to have her own space and everything, essentially to like make him crawl back to her or something like that. But guess what Nelly did? Nelly said, well, all right then. Well, if you want to leave, then leave. I'm going to find somebody else. I'm going to find somebody better. And he did exactly that. You understand? He got with somebody who had status like him. You understand? Who had money like him. You understand? Married her. Who would he marry? He married what? Ashanti, right? And then had a child with her. You know what I'm saying? Had a flourishing relationship, and left that ex in the dust, right? All because she wanted to take control, right? So sisters, let that be a lesson to you as well, right? Like to follow your man. You understand? You don't have to have like the power over him and everything like that, sis.
Not to mention from what I know, they,
Mhm.
well, I heard
All right.
were together for a long period of time,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not sure how long. It seemed like him and Ashanti. I mean, I'm not sure if they were together before.
Yeah.
But
It's
out of nowhere.
exactly. It came out of nowhere, and it's like, oh man, this is brand new. And it's like, it's just, oh, this is such a good relationship compared to the relationship that you had for years. Understand? Where you pretty much, you know what I'm saying, like grow together and come out the mud together. But then, like I said, you get left in the dust because you want to try to take control. Yes, indeed. And it, and the thing is, you're right. More than likely, it did crush her, and it should crush her. It should, right? Because it was unnecessary. It was unnecessary, all right? And we're gonna find it later on in the scriptures, right? Like the power of a woman, you know what I'm saying, with submission. All right. There's a line that says, you know what I'm saying, submission is a woman's strength. It absolutely is. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be belligerent. You don't have to be the dragon, the monster, you know what I'm saying, to get things from your man. All right. We don't have to do that. We're gonna find out more in these scriptures. Mara, saw you had something real quick.
Stop you right quick.
Mhm.
It seems like from reading this,
Mhm.
it seems like it's always the heathen women that rebel against their men, and our women follow right behind them.
Interesting. That is interesting. I like that. Right. Very good. Let's keep going. The book of Esther, chapter 1, verse 20. And when the king's decree, which he shall make, shall be published throughout all his empire, for it is great, all the wives shall give for their husbands, shall give to their husbands honor, both great and small. And the saying pleased the king and the princes. And the king did according to the word of Memucan. For he sent letters into all the king's provinces, into every province according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language, that every man should bear rule in his own house, and that it should be published according to the language of every people. You understand? Like we said, they're trying to nip this in the bud because they don't want essentially like the women to be out of pocket. You understand? And then try to take power over the man. All right. Let's read some more. Now we're in chapter 2. Chapter 2. The book of Esther, chapter 2, verse 1. After these things, when the wrath of King Ahasuerus was appeased, he remembered Vashti and what she had done and what was decreed against her. All right. Here's something else too, sisters. Be careful how you treat your man. Right? Because and so like this goes for brothers as well, and how you treat your woman, right? Because you can hurt each other so much that you essentially you can alter them and change their whole perspective on life. You understand? And then the old school line, hurt people, right? Just think back. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I was talking with some brothers, and every brother can say they remember that one girl, that one woman that hurt them so much. You understand that when it came to the next woman in their lives, they didn't treat them the same anymore because they were so traumatized by that last relationship. You understand? Same thing goes for the sisters. Right? She remembers the man who hurt her. Right? So now what she tried to do, she tried to take the power over that pain. Understand? and not let another man get close to her. You understand? She won't submit to him. Why? Because now she's so traumatized. She's afraid of being hurt. You understand? This shows how crucial a good relationship, a functioning relationship can be for the community. Right? Very good. Verse 2. Then said the king's servants. Right? Go ahead.
Lucky, sir.
Please.
What chapter?
My apologies. We're in the book of Esther, chapter 2,
Chapter 2.
verse 2.
Khan, if I may, sir.
Please.
Khan. This is the book of Esther, chapter 2 of Salaki.
Thank you very much. Microphone. Check at the front.
In the front.
Yeah, Marsar has one.
It's on.
Believe so. Do we have it? No sweat. No sweat. I'll read in the meantime until you have it.
I'm on it, sir.
All right. The book of Esther, chapter 2, verse 2. Then said the king's servants that ministered unto him, let there be fair young virgins sought for the king, and let the king appoint officers in all the provinces of his kingdom, that they may gather together all the fair young virgins unto Shushan, the palace, to the house of the women, unto the custody of Hedge, the king's chamberlain, keeper of the women, and let their things for purification be given them. You understand? Like, yo, he went on a search. You know what I'm saying? He's taking applications and resumes. All right. He said, hey, I need women. Women. You understand? And it's just think now, he already had one. And she didn't do him right. So he's like, okay, fine. This one woman won't do me right. I'm gonna get a whole lot more. Okay. Very good. Ride, we good?
Come, sir.
All right, let's ride.
Verse 3.
Con.
This is the book of Esther, chapter 2 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
And let the king appoint officers in all the provinces of his kingdom,
Mm-hmm.
and they may gather together all their fair young virgins
Yep.
unto Shushan,
Yep.
the palace, to the house of the women, unto the custody of Hegi,
Yep.
the king's chamberlain, keeper of the women, and let their things for purification be given them.
All right, keep going.
Verse 4. And let the maiden which pleaseth the king be queen instead of Vashti.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing pleased the king, and he did so.
Very good. You understand? There it is again. That one woman that did him wrong. Hey, don't forget this. Don't forget this. We're guess what, amen. We're not going to let this happen again. All right. Very good. Keep reading.
Verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Now in Shushan, the palace, there was a certain Jew whose name was Mordecai.
All right. Now we're starting to get a little deeper. All right. We got a good bit of context.
Right.
Now we're about to get into some meat of it. Okay.
Right. Salakia, the son of Jair,
Mm-hmm.
the son of Shimei.
Mm-hmm. Shimmy. Yep.
I'm like, okay, Shimei. Okay, no sweat.
Either one, I'll take it.
I think here it says Ban Salakia, Ban Shemaiah.
Okay.
Salakia, the son of Kish,
All right.
a Benjamite.
All right. In the building, huh? Yeah. Imagine that.
Right.
Imagine that.
Right.
Okay.
God.
Yeah, interesting.
God.
I'm not sure of the significance of that, but hey. Absolutely. Let's get it.
God. Salakia,
Mm-hmm.
who had been carried away from Jerusalem
Mm-hmm.
with the captivity which had been carried away with Salakia. Jeconiah.
Let's go with Jeconiah. Yes.
Jeconiah, the king of Judah,
Mm-hmm.
and whom Nebuchadnezzar,
Mm-hmm.
the king of Babylon, had carried.
Mm-hmm.
And he brought up
Hadassah. Mm-hmm.
That is Esther.
Okay. So now we see Hadassah, and then we see that is Esther. So now it looks like Esther would be the
Babylonian name?
yes. Very good. The Babylonian name or the slave name.
Slave name. Come on.
The slave name. All right. Very good. Isn't that interesting? It like we see that in today's times, right?
Right.
All right. Very good. Keep going.
Right. Salakia. His uncle's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
For she had neither father nor mother, and the maid was fair and beautiful. Salakia. Was she like that means she was like Melchizedek? She had no mother, no father.
No. Keep going.
Salakia.
No sweat.
And the maid was fair and beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
whom Mordecai, when her father and mother were dead, there we go,
Mm-hmm.
took for his own daughter.
There we go. That's right. Keep going.
Verse 8. So it came to pass, when the king's commandment and his decree was heard,
Mm-hmm.
and when many maidens were gathered together unto Shushan the palace, to the custody of Haggai,
Mm-hmm.
that Esther was brought also unto the king's house, to the custody of Haggai, keeper of the women.
Okay, so now you see that word custody.
Right.
All right. So now what's so special about that word custody?
Salakia.
Uh-huh.
I believe in context it just means who is responsible for it.
Okay, we're responsible, all right, but we tend to see custody because of like who is keeping you and also who is owning you as well.
Come on.
All right, very good. So now she is in the custody of these people, right? So now she has to go with these people.
Right.
Keep going.
Verse 9. And the maiden pleased him,
Mm-hmm.
and she obtained kindness of him, and he speedily gave her her things for purification,
Mm-hmm.
which such things as belonged to her, and 7 maidens, which were meet to be given her,
Mm-hmm.
out of the king's house, and he preferred her and her maids unto the best palace of the house
Mm-hmm.
of the women.
All right, keep going.
Oh, Salakia, best place of the house of the women.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 10. Esther had not shewed her people.
Or showed.
Okay. Esther had not showed her people nor her kindred, for Mordecai had charged her that she should not show it.
All right, let's remember that. Let's remember that now. But now she did not show her people nor her kindred. You understand? So now everybody don't need to know my business.
Right.
Yes, I'm in custody. Yeah, I'm in custody just like y'all. But you don't need to know you don't necessarily need to know my background. You understand? You don't need to know my family history.
Right.
You understand? Right. I'm here for the job, just like y'all. All right.
Right.
Very good. Now that's okay. Let's remember that though. Let's remember that. So now everybody doesn't know her family background.
Right.
All right. That's very special. All right. Ivy had something real quick.
So like, I mean, I feel him. You know what I mean? I feel Mordecai on that because. You know what I mean? I don't go around my slavery being like, I'm an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. You know what I mean?
There you go.
I'm just, slave name. That's it. But
that's right.
You get to chopping it up, you might find out some things.
Absolutely. So now we're seeing time and place.
Out of wine.
So we're seeing time and place right now. Now is not the time to tell everybody. Hey, everybody doesn't need to know I'm an Israelite. Everybody doesn't need to know I'm a Jew.
Right.
All right. Now, of course, it's not saying that to be ashamed. Right. And to not tell everybody, you know what I'm saying? But again, just time and place. Okay.
Right.
We'll see more as the story transpires. All right. What verse are we at? Verse 10?
11, sir.
Okay. Let me give you 11 and 12.
And Mordecai walked every day before the court of the women's house,
mm-hmm.
to know how Esther did and what should become of her.
Okay. So now remember she is she's under Mordecai's rule, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's like his daughter. Okay. So of course now, hey, I got my baby girl's in the kingdom. I got to check up on her, you know what I'm saying? Make sure everything's all right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now here, we're going to see like the guidance and the leadership of a father. Okay. Go ahead.
Verse 12.
Mhm.
Now, when every maid's turn was come to go in to King Ahasuerus,
Mhm.
after that, she had been 12 months, according to the manner of women.
Mhm.
For so were the days of the purification accomplished, to wit, 6 months with oil of myrrh, and 6 months with sweet odors, and with other things
Mhm.
for the purifying of the women.
Yeah, you understand? Like letting the women clean themselves up, get their things together. You can even think of how in ISUPK how we have what the 6-month rule, right? Cleansing yourselves, all right. The courting process, all right. Similar here, okay. Clean yourselves up, getting to know each other, all right, in that manner, okay. Very good. Let's drop down to verse 17 now. All right. We got a lot of scriptures to read, but we're not going to go over every one, okay? We're just going to give you like a real good ones just to keep the context of the feast, all right, and the stories. All right. Verse 17, Baba Kashan.
Out of wine, this is the book of Esther, chapter 2, and verse 17.
Uh-huh.
And the king loved Esther
Mm.
above all the women. Salaki. And the king loved Esther above all the women,
Mhm.
and she obtained grace and favor in his sight more
Mhm.
more than all the virgins, so that he set the royal crown upon her head and made her queen instead of Vashti.
Oh, look at that. See, look at that. Remember, he ain't forgot. He ain't forgot. They keep pointing that out. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. Oh, she's nice. We like her. We love her. You understand? Oh yeah. We're gonna put her in the spot where this one used to be. You understand? We're gonna make it known to everybody. All right. Very good. Very good. All right. Cool. So now, okay, let's go down to verse 20 and finish strong.
This is the book of Esther, chapter 2, and verse 20. Esther had not yet showed her kindred nor her people, as Mordecai had charged her. For Esther did the commandment of Mordecai, like as when she was brought up with him.
My apologies. Read that again.
This is the book of Esther, chapter 2, and verse 20. Esther had not yet showed her kindred nor her people, as Mordecai had charged her.
Okay.
For Esther did the commandment of Mordecai.
All right. Now that's important as well. Understand? She's not showing her kindred. And saying not telling everybody her business. Why? Because her father told her to. Right? She's listening to her father, right? And then they double down. They say what? The commandment of Mordecai, like when she was brought up with him, right? Just as she was taught.
Right.
All right. Very good. Keep going.
In those days, while Mordecai sat in the king's gate, 2 of the king's chamberlains, Bigthan and Teresh, of those which kept the door, were wroth and sought to lay hands on the king Ahasuerus.
Okay. So now we're going to see the significance of Mordecai. Understand? We see what these 2 guards here, trusted guards of the king, all right, were upset. They were wroth. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they felt that they weren't getting paid enough. You know what I'm saying? They were working too many hours, all right? But they were upset with the king, right? And now look, they said they wanted to lay hands on the king, all right? And I promise you, the lay hands is not praying for him either. All right? Keep going.
In those days,
we just read
verse 22. And the thing was known to Mordecai, who told it unto Esther the queen. And Esther certified the king thereof in Mordecai's name.
All right. They let him know. All right. And let him know, hey, let the king know, man. He got a couple of guards you can't trust. These dudes are plotting on him. Right? Just want to let you know in case you want to do something about it. Keep going.
Verse 23. And when inquisition was made of the matter, it was found out. Therefore, they were both hanged on a tree. And it was written in the book of the Chronicles of Salakia, of the chronicles before the king.
That's right. It was written in the chronicles. It was in the records. You know what I'm saying? Letting everybody know. Okay, hey, this is what happened. All right, so we can have an account for it. Okay. Real quick, Salakia sisters, is that all the food? Are we waiting on any more of the food?
Not that I'm not sure.
Okay.
Salakia.
I think you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're still waiting on some more of the food. Okay, no sweat. All right, if we could, we'll just fix all the food once all the food gets here. If that's all right with y'all, we can do that. All right, we'll sign it. All right, cool beans. All right, see where we at, verse 22.
That was verse 23, sir. Salakia.
Hold on, give me 1 second, Salaki.
At the end of the chapter.
So I'm on cursor. Come on, kind of got you. Okay. All right. Next verse, Salaki.
Khan is the book of Exodus, chapter 3 and verse 1. After these things, did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hamadatha, the Agagite, and advanced him and set his seat above all the princes that were with him.
Okay. All right, let me get that with you. Very good. Okay, so now we're about to get into some more of the meat. You understand?
Right.
All right. Cool beans. So now we're introduced into another character in the story, another person in history. You understand? Haman. Okay. Right. Okay, Haman, and I believe Haman essentially is like descendants of the Amalekites, if I'm correct. Okay, very good. Keep going.
Salakia, verse 2. And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence.
Ooh, okay. So now we got Haman, who essentially is the number 2 guy in the kingdom,
right
below the king. He is the number 2 guy. You understand? I mean, like, hey, in today's time, you know what I'm saying, you got your president, and you have your vice president. All right, he is that dude. Everybody references him. You understand? Except for one man. Out of all the people, this one guy does not reverence me. All right, cool. Verse 4.
Now it came to pass when they spake daily unto him, and has hearkened, Salakia, and he hearkened not unto them, that they told Haman to see whether Mordecai's matters would stand, for he had told them that he was a Jew.
Okay, cool. So now, like we should have read verse 3. Okay, but now essentially the servants were asking, hey, yo, Mordecai, what's your problem? What's your deal? I'm saying, this is Haman. You know, this is Haman. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to bow? You know what I'm saying? Like, where do you stand with this? What's the problem? Right? He said, hey, I'm not doing it. You know why I'm not doing it? Because I'm a Jew. I'm an Israelite. You understand? I don't reverence this dude. This guy is nothing to me.
Right.
You understand? And that's why I'm not doing it. All right. All right, let's get the next verse.
Come.
Verse 5.
This is verse 5.
All right.
And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then was Haman full of wrath.
So now he saw it. Then he really saw it for himself. You understand? He heard about it, but then he saw it. You understand? He did not reverence, and he was full of wrath. You understand? I mean, this dude is upset. All right, keep going.
Verse 6. And he thought, Salakia, and he thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had showed him the people of Mordecai. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews that were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus.
Okay, so now real quick, how many people offended Haman?
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead, sis. Okay, one person. One person. Okay, another question. How many people are supposed to bow down to Haman? Uh-huh.
All the people in the
All of them.
right.
So one person didn't bow down, but everybody's supposed to bow down. Okay. So now what? One person offended one person, right? Cool. So now that one person offended one person, how many people are gonna have to pay for it? Go ahead, sis. All of them. Now, real quick. Now, who does this sound like in today's time? All right. You said this sounds like our oppressor, right? You want to, this one person offended me? What happens? So now you're going to burn down a whole city, right? Isn't that what happened with Rosewood, right? That happened with Rosewood. The story goes, one person was offended. Now a whole city was destroyed. Huh? Lake Lanier. Very good. Lake Lanier. Go ahead. Columbine. Oh my gosh. Absolutely. Columbine. Tulsa, Oklahoma. You see what I'm saying? One person, and now a whole city has to pay for it, right? Hey, here's one for y'all. Here's one for y'all. 9/11. 9/11. How many people were in those planes? A couple of hundred, right? Now a couple of hundred people lost their lives, which is unfortunate, and now a whole country went to war. You understand? A whole country for years. This is how our oppressor moves. When he is offended, you understand? Everybody has to pay. All right? Very good. Keep reading. Verse 7.
This is the book of chapter 3 and verse 7.
All right.
In the first month, that is the month Nisan, in the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast Pur. That is the lot before Haman from day to day and from month to month. And the 12th month, that is the month Adar.
Okay, so now they cast lot or they cast Pur. Okay, so now the lot and Pur, they cast dice. All right, these are dice. Okay, remember now, dice a lot of times are used to help make decisions. Right, help you make choices. Okay, which essentially can be like unbiased. Right. All right, cool. So now verse 8.
Salaki, sir.
Go ahead.
So Salaki, so this is like when how in Senate they say, the House is in session, like this is when they're making the decisions throughout the year. This is when the House is in session between what did it say? The 12 year, no, the Salaki. It said the first month and the 12th month. So throughout the year, they make decisions. Is that what they're saying? Salaki.
Yeah. They're going to make a decision. Right? Because let's read further on, and we're going to see what kind of decision is going to be made here. All right.
Verse 8.
Okay.
And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, there is a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of thy kingdom, and their laws are diverse from all people. Neither keep they the king's laws. Therefore, it is not for the king's profit to suffer them.
Oh, so now there's a certain people that's in this kingdom, and they've been scattered everywhere.
Right.
And these people think they're so high and mighty, even in captivity, they don't have to follow your laws. They got their own laws. They got their own principles. You understand? And matter of fact, I don't think that it's profitable to allow these people to continue on.
Right.
All right. Cool. So now it looks like there's a nice what's a good word for this? That's a nice some good propaganda that's put up against them, right? Let's take it's taken to the king. Let's keep reading, verse 9.
The book of Esther, chapter 3 and verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
If it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed. And I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have the charge of the business,
Mm-hmm.
to bring it into the king's treasury.
Oh, man. So now, Ribe asked earlier about making decisions. You understand? With what? With the Senate, right? Things are in session. And now when we look at this verse, so now not only did it seem like he's putting out a hit on these people, right?
Right.
But also he's lobbying to the king. He's lobbying to the king, right? Because now he's saying, hey, I'm going to put up this money to get the job done. And this money will go back into the kingdom. You understand? Really trying to sweeten the deal. Right? Very good. Keep reading.
Kananwanka. Salaki. Verse 11. And the king said unto Haman, the silver is given to thee, the people also, to be with them as it seemeth good to thee.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so here's the money. Here's the money provided for you. You know what I'm saying? So that you can pay the people, which essentially will come back to me. All right? Because this sounds like a good plan. You know what I'm saying? And now remember how the king was hurt by one woman. And they said, man, if this one woman wants to do this and disobey, then everybody's going to do it, right? So what they do, they removed her from office to nip it in the bud. So now here comes Haman, who remembers a plan like this, and now says, hey, you got a whole slew of people, a whole nation of people in your kingdom that don't want to listen to you. If they don't want to listen to you, now everybody in the kingdom won't listen to you. We need to get rid of these people. You see how cunning he is?
Right.
See how cunning the oppressor is? Right? Keep reading. And we're going to go ahead and finish this chapter out strong as well, right?
Salakia.
Go ahead. Verse 12.
Verse 12. Then were the king's scribes called on the 13th day of the first month, and there was written according to all that Haman had commanded unto the king's lieutenant, and to the governors that were over every province, and to the rulers of every people of every province according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language. In the name of King Ahasuerus was it written and sealed with the king's ring.
Okay. So a whole decree is put out, right? They putting out first, okay. First they send this through the Senate. They have this lobbied, all right? They have a bill to be processed, and this bill is approved. And now it's going to go throughout the kingdom. And now it's going to make sure that everyone in this kingdom, you know what I'm saying, the different languages, different nations within this kingdom is aware of this. Right? So now you can't miss it. Right? And then it's sealed with the king's ring. Keep on.
Verse 14. The copy of the writing for
Hold on, let's get verse 13.
Verse 13. And the letters were sent by post into all the provinces to destroy, to kill, and to cause to perish all Jews, both young and old, little children and women, in one day, even upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month Adar, and to take the spoil of them for a prey.
Okay, so now this decree is what is pretty much is planned. All right, it's not immediate. All right, but this is going to happen. So now just think of this as like the purge. All right, this whole time, this is going to be a whole lot of killing that is allowed. It's going to be on this day right here. So everybody, we're passing out notices. so that you can't miss it. So you can be prepared. Right?
Right.
So that you can be prepared, because we're not going to let any of them live. All right? Very good. Keep reading. Finish strong.
Khan Adawan Khan. The copy of the writing for a commandment to be given in every province was published unto all people, that they should be ready against that day.
Like
the post went out, being hastened by the king's commandment, and the decree was written in Shushan, the palace. And the king and Haman sat down to drink, but the city Shushan was perplexed.
Yeah, they're confused. Why is this? Why is this happening? Okay, very good. My apologies, sisters. This is only 8:20. We go ahead and prepare the food again, please. Thank you. All right, very good. We're moving at good pace. All right, doing pretty good. All right, let's continue on. Chapter 4. Chapter 4.
Come on, this book of Esther, chapter 4, verse 1. When Mordecai perceived all that was done, Mordecai rent his clothes and put on sackcloth with ashes, and went out into the midst of the city, and cried with a loud and bitter cry.
Oh man, when he saw that notice, he saw those wanted posters. Understand? Oh man, he was hurt. He was hurt because he knew why. He knew why these posters were out. He said, "Man, there's one guy that I offended, and now everybody has to pay the cost for this. I can't believe this." Right? Keep going. Verse 2.
Verse 2. And came even before the king's gate, for none might enter into the king's gate clothed with sackcloth.
So now he's going to make he's going to make a spectacle, right? But he's doing it so that everybody can hear him, everybody of importance. All right, keep going.
Verse 3. And in every province, whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came, there was great mourning among the Jews.
Okay, so now it's not just to a degree, it's not just Mordecai who's feeling this way. Not just Mordecai, you understand, that's lamenting. All right. This is like throughout the nation, throughout all the provinces. Okay. Everybody's feeling this pain. Everybody's getting nervous. They're getting scared. Keep going.
Come. And fasting and weeping and wailing, and many lay in sackcloth and ashes. Verse 4.
All right.
So Esther's maids and her chambermaids came and told it her. Then was the queen exceedingly grieved, and she sent raiment to clothe Mordecai and to take away his sackcloth from him, but he received it not.
All right. So now she heard about this. This is like her father, you understand? Who is just so sad, you understand? He's going before the king's gate, you understand, in sackcloth. All right, rent his clothes. All right, he got word of this. She got word of this. All right, and now she wants to help him out. She wants to help out. He wants to help out Pops. You understand? But he ain't trying to hear it. So nah, man, I don't need this king's clothing. I'm good with what I got. All right, keep going.
Come, verse 5. Then called Esther for a top. One of the king's chamberlains, whom he had appointed to attend upon her.
What verse you at?
I believe I was at 5.
You at 5? All right, cool. Go down to 7.
Come, verse 7. And Mordecai told him of all that had happened to him, and of some of the money that Haman had promised to pay to the king's treasuries for the Jews, to destroy them.
All right, so now talking to the messenger, just giving him the recap. You know what I'm saying? Why you're making this spectacle? Hey, what's going on, man? Like, what's up with this notice? What's really good? Keep going.
Come, verse 8. Also, he gave him the copy of the writings of the decree that was given to Shushan to destroy them, to shew it unto Esther, and to declare it unto her, and to charge her that she should go in unto the king, to make supplication unto him, and to make request before him for her people.
All right. So now they send the message back. Hey, baby girl, hey, this is what's going on, but I'm gonna need your help. I need your help. You know what I'm saying? I really need that family discount right now. You understand? Like, yeah, you in a high place. I need you to talk to the king, let him know what's going on. Right? Verse 10.
It's like you want me to skip over 9, sir? 10.
Yes.
Come on. Verse 10. Again, Esther spake unto Hathach, and gave him commandment unto Mordecai. Verse 11. All the king's servants and the people of the king's provinces do know that whosoever, whether man or woman, shall come unto the king into the inner court, who is not called, there is one law of his to put him to death, except such to whom the king shall hold out the golden scepter, that he may live. But I have not been called to come unto the king these 30 days.
Okay, so now these are Esther's words back to Mordecai. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you want me just to go and use the family discount, but this is what can happen. You understand? I mean, I understand, you know, that a lot of our people, our lives are gonna be on the line. But we got time for that. If I come and do this, my time can be immediate. You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 12. And they told to Mordecai Esther's word.
All right.
Verse 13. Then Mordecai commanded to answer Esther, think not with thyself that thou shalt escape in the king's house.
Oh man. Now, hold on now. So think not thyself thou shalt escape the king's house. You understand? Hey, baby girl, just because you in that hot seat, don't think you can't get brought down. Don't think that you're actually more special than the rest of your people. Understand? Which is interesting, especially in today's time, right? Because what happens? We have our people who are trying who get out the hood, trying to get out the gutter. Understand? Trying to get out the mud, and then they make it. But then what happens? They don't give back. They don't remember. They want to forget the hard times. You understand? And think that they're special and that they don't have to help. You understand? They don't feel obligated anymore. Right? So now, but here we have Mordecai. Remember how we said the leadership, the guidance of a father in a woman's life, in a black woman's life, right? Keep reading.
More than all the Jews.
Verse
14. For if thou altogether holdest thy peace at this time, then shall their enlargement and deliverance arise to the Jews from another place. But thou and thy father's house shall be destroyed. And who knoweth whether thou art come to the kingdom for such a time as this? Okay.
So now look at this. All right. So now, of course, now we know the line. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this is bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? This is more. This is deeper than rap. You understand? Like, hey, there is a lot more at stake than what you are thinking. Right? There's a lot more than what you think. All right, this is big. This is big. Hey, I want you to see the big picture, okay? And we're going to have some folks who are going to come from another side and try to take us out, right? And here's something else. How do you know that you weren't put in this position just for this situation? How do you know that? Understand? Let's think about this, baby girl. Think about it. Not just because, you know what I'm saying, you are fair and beautiful, but maybe because you got some point. Maybe because, hey, this is what the Most High wanted. Right? Very good. Keep reading.
Verse 15. Then Esther bade them return Mordecai this answer. Verse 16. Go, gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day.
All right.
I also and my maidens fast likewise. And so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to the law. And if I perish, I perish.
Oh man. So now cool. So now Esther just got checked. All right. Esther, who is the queen, was essentially put in her place. Right? So now she has a whole different perspective. And now she says, okay, cool. Now this is what we're going to do. Now read the next verse.
Verse 17. So Mordecai went his way and did according to all that Esther had commanded him.
Okay, now earlier we talked about, you know what I'm saying, like women's empowerment. All right? We talked about women's empowerment. But here, Mordecai just checked his queen. He checked his daughter. He checked his baby girl. And now she comes back and she gives a plan. So, okay, you know what? You're right. But let's move like this. And then here comes Mordecai and said, you know what? Mordecai did all that she said. Now, why is that? Why did Mordecai follow after what Esther said? What was her instructions? What was her instructions in the previous verse? She said to gather. She said to fast. She said fast for 3 days. Don't eat no food, no water, none of that. And then Mordecai did what she said. Why would Mordecai follow after what she said?
Because it was righteous.
Yes. But she not only because it was righteous, okay, she gave a righteous answer, a righteous plan, right? But also it was humble. All right? It was humble and she submitted. She submitted. And like we said, it was a righteous plan. She gave a good suggestion. You understand? And now we want to bring this out because a lot of times people want to say, oh, the women in the Bible, women just don't have a voice. You know what I'm saying? Women aren't significant. You know what I'm saying? The Bible is just too masculine. But here we're seeing that one, Esther has a whole book, right? And then we're seeing how her father figure, you know what I'm saying, is following after her suggestions. All right. Very good. Very good. All right, let's continue on. We got a few more chapters. We're almost done. We're halfway done, everybody. All right. Yeah, yes, sir. We're preparing food right now. Come with us.
Book of Esther, chapter 5 and verse 1.
Now
it came to pass on the 3rd day that Esther put on her royal apparel and stood in the inner court of the king's house, over against the king's house. And the king sat upon his royal throne in the royal house, over against the gate of the house.
All right, keep going.
Verse 2. And it was so, when the king saw Esther, the queen, standing in the court, that she obtained favor in his sight.
There she is again. You know what I'm saying? That fairness, that beauty. All right, he saw her from a distance. Look at her right there, man. There she go. There goes, that's mine right there. Let me see what she's talking about. All right, keep going.
And the king held out to Esther the golden scepter that was in his hand. So Esther drew near and touched the top of the scepter.
All right.
Verse 3. Then said the king unto her, what wilt thou, Queen Esther? And what is thy request? It shall be even given thee to the It shall be even given thee to the half of the kingdom.
To the half of the kingdom. What is it? What you want, baby girl? What you want, sweetheart? Name it. Now I'll give it to you. You understand? Right. I'll give it to you. All right, keep going.
Verse 4. And Esther answered, If it seem good unto the king, let the king and Haman come this day unto the banquet that I have prepared for him.
Okay. There we go. So she has a simple request. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if it's good to you, if you don't mind, you know what I'm saying? Slagi, if I could, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hey, let your right hand man come to a bank. I want to fix y'all something. All right. Very good. Let's draw down to verse 7.
Khan, book of Esther, chapter 5 and verse 7. Then answered Esther and said, my petition and my request is, verse 8, if I have found favor in the sight of the king, and if it please the king to grant my petition and to perform my request,
right,
let the king and Haman come to the banquet that I shall prepare for them. Salaki. And I will do tomorrow as the king has said.
Okay, cool. So now I want y'all to see something right here. So now you got Esther, and now not only is she beautiful, she's found, you know what I'm saying? The king is just like, oh man, all over her. You know what I'm saying? She walks around, she has the king's attention, right? But then but look how she talks to the king though. Pay attention to how she talks, right? Hey, if I have found favor in thy sight, if it pleases you, you understand? Look at here's the free game, sisters. I'm saying, you want something done by your man? Talk to him nice.
Right.
Talk to him nice. You understand? Don't be the dragon. Don't be so belligerent. You understand? Talk nice to him. That's all he wants. I mean, why? That's what he got you there in the first place. You understand? He got the one in the first place. Why? Because she has the nice, subtle voice.
Right.
You understand? If you notice how we as men, men don't talk soft to men. You know what I'm saying? We talk strong to one another.
Right.
You understand? And sometimes it can be offensive. You know what I'm saying? But iron sharpens iron. Right? But then when we get around that woman, you know what I'm saying? I want to hear a nice, soft, melodic voice. You know what I'm saying? Talk to me nice. You understand? Talk nice, and you can and more, you might get whatever you want. All right? Very good. Keep going.
Khan, verse 9. Then went Haman forth that day joyful and with a glad heart. But when Haman saw Mordecai in the king's gate, that he stood not up, nor moved for him, he was full of indignation against Mordecai.
Oh, look at that. Here he comes again. Here comes Haman, you understand? Oh, he's so full of joy. All right. Can nothing take his joy except for this one black man that won't reference him. You understand? Then look, now because of that, his whole day is ruined. He's so full of indignation. You understand? This is the oppressor for you. You understand? The oppressor can have everything in the world. You understand? Can have the world at in the palm of his hand, right? But if there is one thing that the oppressor can't do, he's gonna be so upset, and he's gonna be like, I can't believe this. Why can't I do this? Right? It's just like, for instance, how the oppressor, you know what I'm saying, has black men, it has the black race in his palm, under his foot, right? Because he tries to control everything that they do, right? Right? But guess what? The fact that the oppressor can't say the word nigga freely, the fact that he can't use that word, that oppresses him. And he is full of indignation and confusion. I don't understand. Why can't I say it? You understand? And then what happens? He gets upset because out of everything that he can have, this one thing he can't have. Now it's a problem. Right? So now let's see. Let's get back into the scripture. Let's see what else happens. Right?
Khan, verse 10.
Yep.
Nevertheless, Haman refrained himself. And when he came home, he sent and called for his friends.
Okay, so now he refrained himself. You understand? He had that murderous intent right then and there. But he said, you know what? No, it's okay. It's okay. I got a plan. I got a plan for him. You understand? You just wait and see. You just wait and see. You understand? Really trying to be the movie villain. All right. Keep going.
Khan. And Zeresh, his wife, Verse 11. And Haman told them of the glory of his riches and the multitude of his children and all the things wherein the king and Slaki had promoted him, and how he had advanced him above the princes and servants of the king.
You understand it? You see how the president is just bragging about himself. You know what I'm saying? All his gloriness, his riches, you understand? And essentially how he got over everybody else. All the people that he put down to get to the top. Right? He revels in that. Right? Keep going.
Verse 12. Haman said, moreover, yea, Esther the queen did not let no man come in with the king unto the banquet that she had prepared but myself.
Look at that. I was even sitting there with the king and the queen. It was just us. And so I didn't have to share the spotlight with anybody. All right, keep going.
Come. And tomorrow am I invited unto her also with the king.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 13. Yet all this availeth me nothing.
Okay, hold on now. There we go again. We just said about all the good stuff that he had. You know what I'm saying? He just bragged about his whole day, his whole career. Right? His whole career. But then he says, this availeth me nothing. Go ahead.
Come. So long as I see Mordecai, the Jew, sitting at the king's gate.
Man, look at that. You see all the people that I rule over, everybody that I stepped on to get to the top. Man, that don't mean nothing if there's one dude that's sitting at the gate in sackcloth and not bowing down to me. I don't care about none of that because there's one black man won't bow down to me. That is the oppressor.
Right.
Understand? So selfish and so blind in his own rage and his pride. Right? Keep going.
Come. Verse 14. Then said Zeresh, his wife, and all his friends unto him, let a gallows be made of 50 cubits high, and tomorrow speak thou unto the king that Mordecai may be hanged therein. Then go thou in merely with the king unto the banquet, and the thing pleased Haman, and he caused the gallows to be made up.
Okay, so not only do they already have a hit or a purge, you understand, plan for all the Jews, all right, but they said, well, how about this? Why don't you go ahead and build some gallows just so you can hang him? And then after you hang him, walk into the banquet and just be so happy and cheerful. Now, isn't that the oppressor for you? You know what I'm saying? Hey, and just in case, we've seen in history, right, where the oppressor has what? Parties. You know what I'm saying? Back in the 1800s and in the 1900s, all right? They had lynching parties where they took pictures and they gathered around that one black man hanging from trees, that one Mexican, that Latino brother hanging from trees, right? This is the oppressor for you. Understand? Racism still exists, all right? And guess what? We see it here in the Bible as well. We see it right here in this book, the book that is essentially untouched by the Christian church, right? The church does not touch this, will not touch this book at all. They'll do a little bit with Revelations, but I've never seen the church teach out of Esther at all. And this is why, because you're seeing how the racism it actually exists even in the Bible. We're not seeing all love. We're seeing actual hate, and we're seeing real racism and prejudice.
Right.
You understand? All out of pride, right? And essentially because of the color of your skin and the nation of who you belong to, right? Very good. All right, microphone.
Lucky, sir.
Please.
If I may, I realized when I was in the church, they did mention, because I asked about the book of Esther, doing Bible studies and whatnot. And they were like, well, you know, the book of Esther doesn't mention the Most High.
Yeah.
So that's why the brother that I was asking the question to, that's why we really don't focus on it in the church, because it doesn't mention the Most High. But now looking at it, it's, to me, I'm realizing that it's so important that this book is more so about the people of the Most High.
There you
that
go.
It belongs in the records, in the scriptures, because we are the main event on earth.
That's right.
Like it.
Very good. Very good. Very good. All right. Let's continue on. Esther chapter 6.
Come on, the book of Esther, chapter 6 and verse 1. On that night could not the king sleep. And he commanded to bring the book of records of the Chronicles. And they were read before the king.
All right.
Verse 2. And it was found written that Mordecai had told of Bigthana.
Bigthana.
It's like
Bigthana.
Bigthana.
Mm-hmm.
And Teresh.
Yep.
Two of the king's chamberlains, the keepers of the door, who sought to lay hand on the king's
Ahasuerus.
Yep.
Okay. Remember now, we talked about it earlier, right? How Mordecai heard about the plan on these two guardsmen. You know what I'm saying? The plan to eliminate the king, right? Because they were upset with him, right? Mordecai found out, got word back to the king, saved his life, and it was noted. All right. Very good. Keep going.
Come on. Verse 3. And the king said, what honor and dignity hath been done to Mordecai for this? Then said the king's servants that ministered unto him, there is nothing done for him.
Okay, so now what was done? What was done for this man? There was nothing done. You know what I'm saying? They just pretty much said, hey, thank you for all you do. That's it. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't get a real reward. You know what I'm saying? Now the king says, you know what? Let's change that. Right? Keep going.
Come on. Verse 4. And the king said, who is in the court? Now Hanan was come into the outward court of the king's house to speak unto the king to hang Mordecai on the gallows that he had prepared for him.
Okay, so now we got the king who is he said, all right, you know what? I got to change the heart. I got to change the mind. You know, I want to do something for this guy. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to make me happy to reward this man. And then you have Haman, you know what I'm saying, who's coming to the king, who's excited about eliminating the same man. Right? Keep going.
Come on. Verse 5. And the king's servant said unto him, behold, Haman standeth in the court. And the king said, let him come in.
All right. Keep going.
Verse 6. So Haman came in, and the king said unto him, what shall be done unto the man whom the king delighteth to honor? Now Haman thought in his heart, to whom would the king delight to do honor more than to himself?
That's right. Now here goes the oppressor's thoughts once again. You understand? Not caring about what the king's thinking, but caring about his own. It has it having his own ambitions, his own selfish ambitions. All right. Cool beans. Of course, now the king is thinking, hey, this is my right hand man. Hey, we're on one accord. I'm happy about something. My right hand man should be happy about the same thing. Right? Cool beans. Keep going.
Verse 7. And Haman answered the king, for the man whom the king delighteth to honor. Verse 8. Let the royal apparel be brought which the king uses to wear, and the horse that the king rideth upon, and the crown royal which is set upon his head.
Okay, cool. So now everything we just named, who does that belong to?
Salakia, the king.
It belongs to the king, right? All the stuff he named, it belongs to the king. Now this is the right hand man. Right hand man. But now what is this showing about the oppressor in this context? Who is Haman? Go ahead.
It's like that he's never satisfied.
That's right. Very good. He's never satisfied with his position. He always wants to be on top. Pause. You understand? He always wants to be in the lead. You understand? It's never enough. right? And go so far as that he wants the king's spots, right? He wants it. He look what he said. I want the king's robe. I want the king's crown. Being pretty much what else he said? What does he want? He wants his apparel,
The horse.
the horse. I want everything that the king has. Give it to me. Right? Cool. Keep going.
Come, verse 9. And let this apparel and the horse be delivered to the hand of one of the king's most noble princes, that they may array the man withal whom the king delighteth to honor, and bring him on horseback through the street of the city, and proclaim before him, thus shall it be done to the man whom the king delighteth to honor.
All right. So look at that. I want pretty much this is me. Oh, you're talking about me. I want everything that you have. I want to be king for a day. I want to rule. Right? Just real quick. Seeing how Haman here wants everything that the king has. Essentially, he wants to be king. What does this also remind us of from the scriptures? What scripture context does this can we think of? Right.
Like, don't multiply gold to yourself.
No.
That's a lot.
No. All right. How you call? Who? What can we relate this to in the scriptures on how Haman here essentially wants to be king? He wants everything that the king has. He wants to rule. He wants to be over everything. What does this remind us of? Aha. What does this remind us of?
So, like you, sir, if I may,
please
try it again. When the serpent told Eve that she will be like God.
All right, you're close because you're talking about essentially like the devil, but you know what I'm saying, right? But this can remind us in Isaiah,
okay,
and Lucifer, the
okay.
nation Lucifer, right? That I will ascend above the heavens. I will be this, right? I'm going to rule, right? This is what Haman is doing. Haman has that same spirit. I want you what you have, king. I want to rule over you. I want to be just like you. I want to have all your stuff. You understand? You should be bowing down to me. Right? Very good. Keep reading.
Come, verse 12. And Mordecai came again to the king's gate, but Haman hasted to his house mourning and having his head covered.
Oh, yeah, hold on. We skipped something. We just did verse 9. Let's go to 10 and 11. We skipped that.
Oh, slacking.
No sweat.
Verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
Then the king said to Haman, make haste and take the apparel and the horse as thou hast said, and do even so to Mordecai the Jew.
That's right. So everything you say, you know what? You're right. Everything you said, do it. Make sure it's done. And give it to Mordecai the Jew. Give it to him. Because he deserves this. You're absolutely right. Keep going.
Come. That sitteth at the king's gate. Let nothing fail of all that thou hast spoken.
That's right. And then he doubles down. Let nothing fail. Everything you said that should be given honor. Make sure it's done. I'm leaving this in your hands. This is your responsibility. Right? Keep going.
Verse 11. Then took Haman the apparel and the horse and arrayed Mordecai and brought him on horseback through the street of the city and proclaimed before him, thus shall it be done unto the man whom the king delighteth to honor.
Oh, man. Look at that. Everything he wanted was essentially for the man that he hated. Right? Keep going.
Verse 12. And Mordecai came again to the king's gate, but Haman hasted to his house mourning and having his head covered.
He hasted to his house mourning. That man went and cried in the car. That's what he did. You understand?
Right.
Because he had a plan to get rid of God's chosen. You understand? And it didn't work out. All right, let's read verse 13.
Come, verse 13. And Haman told Zeresh, his wife, and all his friends everything that had befallen him.
Uh-huh.
Then said his wise men and Zeresh, his wife, unto him, if Mordecai be of the seed of the Jews,
The who?
seed of the Jews,
Ooh, wait. All right.
before whom thou hast begun to fall, thou shalt not prevail against him, but shall surely fall before him.
Okay. Now earlier, it sounded as if like they just knew him as Mordecai, right? But now it's like, oh, this is Mordecai the Jew.
Right.
Oh, hold on, we know about these people.
Right.
Man, you trying to go against them? Oh no, that ain't it. That ain't it, man. You're gonna fall. You already falling now. And if you keep going, surely you will fall. Hey, I guarantee it.
Right.
This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. You understand? So now we're seeing that. Let's read on. Let's go to verse chapter 7. But now let's start us off at verse 3.
Book of Esther, chapter 7 and verse 3.
Okay, so now we have the banquet. You understand? They're coming together, right? Keep going.
Then Esther the queen answered and said, if I have found favor in thy sight, O king, and if it please the king, let my life be given me at my petition, and my people at my request.
There she go again with those sweet words. You understand? Talking real nice and subtle to him. And then what happened? Then she gives her actual request. All right, she's already buttered him up, right? And now she's telling him what she wants. Keep going.
Verse 4. For we are sold, I and my people, to be destroyed, to be slain, and to perish.
Okay, so now she's giving some background. Now she's talking about what? Her people and her kindred, right? And she also told him about the purge that has been planned for them. Keep going.
But if we had been sold for bondmen and bondwomen, I had held my tongue, although the enemy could not countervail the king's damage.
All right. Verse 6.
Verse 6. And Esther said, the adversary and enemy is.
Hold on, I'm sorry. My apologies. Let's read verse 7. Let's go read verse 5. Let's read verse 5. That's important too. I'm sorry about that, Salakia.
Book of Esther, chapter 7 and verse 5. Then the king, it's like again, Ahasuerus answered and said unto Esther the queen, who is he? And where is he that durst presume in his heart to do so?
Oh no. Who you talking about? Who would dare do this to my honey bunny? To my lady? You understand? Who would even think to do this?
Right.
Point them out. Right? Keep going.
Verse 6. And Esther said, the adversary and enemy is this wicked Haman.
Right.
Then Haman was afraid before the king and the queen.
Esther said, there he go, daddy. There he go. He right there. It's him. Go ahead. Microphone.
Salakia, I just envisioned her like, it was him. Like
right.
Hard point.
That's right.
Salakia.
That's right. There he go. He right there. Right. In the building. Absolutely. Keep going.
Verse 7. And the king arising from the banquet of wine in his wrath went into the palace garden.
Hold on. Salaki, sisters, thank you for fixing those food. You're gonna go ahead and pass those plates out. All right, go ahead.
And Haman stood up to make request for his life to Esther the queen, for he saw that there was evil determined against him by the king.
Oh man! So now he chased after her. Hey, come on, please believe me, please.
Hold on.
Exactly. You understand? Come on, now he's pleading for his life. Right. You know what I'm saying? Which is so interesting because the oppressor was so coward in how he went, you know what I'm saying, but how he went behind the lines. You know what I'm saying? And tried to sneak his way to get this purge done. But now what happens? As a snake, when he's put out in the forefront, he has no cover. Right. You know what I'm saying? Now he's not so dangerous. Right. You know what I'm saying? Now he's running. You know what I'm saying? This when he can't sneak around, he has no power. Right. You know what I'm saying? And this, you know what I'm saying? And this is what we have to do to the oppressor. Instead, we have to expose the oppressor for his wicked ways. You understand? This is why, you know what I'm saying, in ISUPK, we say what? We expose the oppressor for his crimes. For his crimes, all right? Why? Because society doesn't want you to talk about the oppressor's crimes. You know what I'm saying? He wants you to think that, oh, no, everything is fine. You understand? It's in the past. You understand? All right? We keep going.
Verse 8. Then the king returned out of the palace garden into the place of the banquet of wine. And Haman was fallen upon the bed wherein Esther was. Mm-hmm. Then said the king, will he force the queen also before me in the house?
Oh man. Hold on now. First you got this plan. You're wicked to my woman. All right. You got me so upset, and then I find you still disrespecting me in my house. You understand? Now it seems like you're trying to take advantage of my lady. Oh man, I won't stand for this. Absolutely not. Right. All right, keep going.
As the word went out of the king's mouth, they covered Haman's face.
Oh wow. They came and got that boy. They came and got him. They covered his face. Understand? They were not going to let him get away at all. All right, keep going.
Verse 9. And Harbonah, one of the chamberlains, said before the king, behold also the gallows 50 cubits high, which Haman had made for Mordecai, who had spoken good for the king, standeth in the house of Haman. Mm-hmm. Then the king said, hang him thereon.
I'm saying, now see right here in the Bible, poetic justice. You understand? Absolute poetic justice. Right. And now you see an oppressor, you understand, someone who was just absolutely so full of hatred, you understand, just so racist, you understand, get his just due. Right? Got his just due, you understand. Now you can see it's not all love. There's no love. There's no love lost at all. All right? But he is taken out. Very good. Keep going.
Verse 10. So they hanged Haman on the gallows that he had prepared for Mordecai. Mm-hmm. Then was the king's wrath pacified.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? Then was he pacified, all right? Because you got to see this oppressor, and saying somebody who disrespected you and disrespected your wife, you understand? Justice was served. Right? Very good. Keep reading. We're almost done.
Book of Esther, chapter 8 and verse 1. Mm-hmm. On that day did the king Ahasuerus give the house of Haman, the Jews' enemy, unto Esther the queen. Mm-hmm. And Mordecai came before the king, for Esther had told what he was unto her. Verse 2. And the king took off his ring, which he had taken from Haman, and gave it unto Mordecai.
Okay, so now here's some more justice. Here's another reward. And saying now Mordecai is put in the position where Haman was. Right? Very good. Keep going.
And Esther set Mordecai over the house of Haman. Verse 3. And Esther spake yet again before the king, and fell down at his feet, and besought him with tears to put away the mischief of Haman the Agagite, and his device.
Okay, very good. So now here's something else. You understand? When it comes to blacks, people are always afraid of blacks taking actual revenge. You understand? We've been taught so much, you understand, that to hold our peace, let the Lord fight our battle, he'll be with us. Understand? But in order for the Lord to be with us, we must serve him.
Right.
We must obey. You understand? And the man of the Lord, such as Mordecai, did just that. Understand? And guess what? Mordecai didn't have to lift a finger.
Right.
Understand? It was played out for him. Right? And this is the power that blacks have. Why? Because they serve the most high power. You understand? They serve the most high God. Latinos and Native Indians. But if we could just tap into that, understand? Our enemies would not stand a chance. All right? Keep going.
Colonel Gunn. Device that he had devised against the Jews.
All right, let's go down to verse 5.
Colonel Gunn, verse 5. And said, if it please the king, and if I have found favor in his sight, and the thing seemed right before the king, and I be pleasing in his eyes, let it be written to reverse the letters devised by Haman, the son of Hammedatha, and the Agagite, which he wrote to destroy the Jews which are in all the king's provinces.
Okay, so now here comes Esther again, you know what I'm saying, with those sweet words. All right. So now it's cool that Haman, the person who put out this purge in the first place, has essentially been destroyed. Right. But now let's not forget, King, that plan is still in place. So, King, I need your help. I need your help, baby. You know what I'm saying? I need you to erase that for me. Help me, help my people. All right. Keep going.
Colonel Khan, verse 6. For how can I endure to see the evil that shall come unto my people? Or how can I endure to see the destruction of my kindred?
And see, this is what's so special about Esther. Understand? Because she is in such a high place, you understand, has high status and power. Understand? But she still remembers her people. She still remembers where she comes from, you understand? And she does not want her people to suffer. Right? She's not the type to say, oh, it ain't got nothing to do with me. All right? Go ahead.
Like it. She ain't forget where she came from.
There you go. She ain't forgot where she came from. You know, saying she does not want her people to suffer. Okay. Just think of how we said earlier, how our celebrities are. Our celebrities got all this power, all this so-called power, all this money, right? And they always talk about it, but they never go back. They never go back. You understand? There's always such a disconnect. All right. Why? Because they made it out, and they didn't do anything else for their people.
Right.
All right. Their people are still strung out on drugs. Their people are still homeless. All right. And any so-called charities that they have are only for tax write-offs. You know what I'm saying? And not to actually help. All right? Keep going.
Verse 7, sir?
Yes.
Then the king Ahasuerus said unto Esther the queen and to Mordecai the Jew, behold, I have given Esther the house of Haman, and him they have hanged upon the gallows, because he laid his hand upon the Jews.
That's right. You understand? Very good. There's that poetic justice again. Keep going.
Verse 8. Write ye also for the Jews, as it liketh you, in the king's name, and seal it with the king's ring. For the for the writing which is written in the king's name and sealed with the king's ring, may no man reverse.
That's right. You're saying very now we see the power that Mordecai has, you know what I'm saying, in this kingdom. Right now, he's the number 2 guy, and now he can write out decrees. And saying now he's able to help reverse, you know, saying the tragedy that was going to befall his people. Right? Keep going.
Verse 9. Then were the king's scribes called at that time in the 3rd month, that is the month Sivan, on 3 and 20th day, therefore, and it was written according to all that Mordecai commanded unto the Jews, and to the lieutenants, and the deputies, and rulers of the provinces which are from India unto Ethiopia, and 127 provinces, unto every province according to the writing thereof, and unto every people after their language, and to the Jews according to their writing, and according to their language.
That's right.
Verse 10. And he wrote in the king Ahasuerus' name.
Okay, hold on. So now you see, they put out in all the languages. You understand? So now you can't miss it. All right. We're going to stop this decree. This plan of purge, it doesn't matter anymore. All right. Very good. So now let's go down to verse 13.
The book of Esther, chapter 8, and verse 13. The copy of the writing for the commandment to be given in every province was published unto all people, and that the Jews should be ready against that day to avenge themselves on their enemies.
Okay, so now a new decree has been put out. New decree, you understand? Now that purge that we had back then is no more. But now we got another one. I said we're gonna have a day where you can take revenge against your oppressors. Understand? And like we said, this is the day that we're waiting on. Right? But in order for us to have this, we must obey and serve the Most High God. Right? Very good. Okay, now let's go down to verse 15.
Verse 15. And Mordecai went out from the presence of the king in royal apparel of blue and white, and with a great crown of gold, and with a garment of fine linen and purple.
All right.
And the city of Shushan rejoiced and was glad.
Okay, so now this is important here. Earlier, when that purge went out, how you call it? Do you remember how Shushan was? How they felt?
It's like they were mourning.
They were mourning, but they were perplexed. They were confused. Right? Now we have Mordecai, the Jew, who's now the number 2 guy, you understand, in the kingdom. And now how is Shushan?
Oh, it's like they were glad.
They're rejoicing. Now they're glad. You understand? Isn't there a scripture that says, saying when the wicked are what? And the wicked are reigning, what? The earth is mourning. You saying, but when the righteous are in rulership, the earth will rejoice. Right. Now we see it here in Esther. Saying, and how essentially it comes to fruition. Right. Very good. Very good. Okay. Now verse 17.
And in every province and in every city, whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came, the Jews had joy and gladness, a feast and a good day.
All right. So now they're rejoicing. Now they're feasting. You're saying, hey, today was a good day. You understand? Right. Every day is a good day. All right. Keep going.
And many of the people of the land became Jews, for the fear of the Jews fell upon them.
Okay, so now that's important as well. All right. Now these people who aren't Jews, they become Jews. Right? For the fear of the Jews fell upon them. So now how did they become Jews? How you call?
It's like they started practicing the laws or following the laws.
They practice the laws. You understand? Remember how the scripture says they have their own laws. Understand? Now they're following after the Jews. Understand? Because now they realize that, hey, these are a great people. Understand? The Most High is with the Most High God is with them. You know, and we saw in the number 2 guy originally, he went against them and he failed. You understand? He is no more. All right. And so now we don't want to be like him. We're going to follow after these people right here. All right. Very good. Verse chapter 9. I say we're trying to get through this as quick as we can.
The book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 1. Now in the 12th month, that is the month Adar, on the 13th day of the same, when the king's commandment and his decree drew near to be put in execution, and the day that the enemies of the Jews hoped to have power over them. Though it was turned to the contrary, that the Jews had rule over them that hated them.
That's right. The Jews had the rules over them that hated them. You know what I'm saying? You see how the scriptures just keeps doubling down on it and tripling down on it. You understand? Now the Jews who were the servants, who were the slaves, you understand? Now they got power.
Right.
You understand? And they are ruling over the ones that are hating them. Right. You understand? And I can't wait for that same day to happen in America, you understand, in Brazil, in Mexico, everywhere where my people are. You Understand? We're going to rule over the same people that hate us.
Right.
All right. Very good. Very good. Keep going.
Come, verse 2. The Jews gathered themselves together in the cities throughout all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus to lay hand on such as sought their hurt.
Uh-huh.
And no man could withstand them, for the fear of them fell upon all people.
Okay, so now we're seeing, you understand, there came a time now where those Jews rose up, you saying, against the people that hated them. You understand? They sought them out. You understand? And they laid hands on them.
Right.
They laid hands on them. You understand? And what it said, the scripture said that no man could withstand them. All right, for the fear of the people fell upon them. You understand? These folks were scared. You understand? Because they saw the power of the Most High God. All right, very good. Verse 3.
Come, verse 3. And all the rulers of the provinces and the lieutenants and the deputies and officers of the king helped the Jews because the fear of Mordecai fell upon them.
Okay, so now look at that. Now all the rulers of those provinces, and they even went down the ranks, they helped the Jews. You know what I'm saying? Because the fear of Mordecai fell upon them, right? So now, hey, we also remember a scripture that says what? And the Most High will make your enemies your footstool, right? Look at that. Because now all these officers, they were with the king.
Right.
Now they're helping out the Jews. Understand? Once again, follow after the Most High God. He will help. Understand? But we must serve and obey. All right? Very good. Let's read verse 5.
Come, verse 5. Thus the Jews smote all their enemies with the stroke of the sword.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it. Stroke of the sword.
Ooh, wee.
And slaughter.
And what?
Slaughter.
And what?
Slaughter.
Ooh, wee. Okay.
And destruction.
Ooh, slaughter and destruction. Oh man, it just tastes so good. You understand? And here we are having a feast as well.
Right.
Slaughter and destruction for our enemies. All right.
Right.
Very good. Keep going.
Come. And did what they would unto those that hated them.
Once again, I tell you what, man, the Bible is just so special.
Right.
All right. It's really doubling down. All right. How our enemies will fall before us. They did it. Hey, Christians always say, hey, if God did it for them back then, he can do it for me now.
Right.
Looking at Esther.
Right.
Our enemies were destroyed.
Right.
The very ones that hated us were destroyed. So now, if you believe in the Bible from back then, you should believe it today's time, right?
Right.
So just know that your enemies will fall as well, and you will be a part of their destruction and their slaughter.
Right.
But of course, you must serve and obey the Most High God. All right.
Right.
Very good. Very good. All right. Let's drop down to let's speed this up. So now everything was good. Let's go down to verse 20. All right. So we can finish up for this feast.
Come, the book of Esther, chapter 9 and verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
And Mordecai wrote these things and sent letters unto all the Jews that were in all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus. I'm gonna keep messing that up. So like both nigh and far.
Ahasuerus.
Mm-hmm. Both nigh and far. Verse 21. To establish.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
all right, to establish
this among them, that they should keep the 14th day of the month Adar, and the 15th day of the same yearly.
Okay.
Verse 22. As the days wherein the Jews rested from their enemies, and the month which was turned unto them from sorrow to joy.
That's right.
And from mourning into a good day, that they should make them days of feasting and joy, and of sending portions one to another and gifts to the poor.
All right. So you see here we are. You know what I'm saying? We're having our feast. All right. Remembering from back then, you know what I'm saying, the story that happened with Esther and Mordecai. All right. Very good. And how it affected the Jews of all, essentially how it affected the whole nation. All right. Very good. Keep going. Go ahead. How you call?
It's like a quick question. So when it says and of sending portions one to another, what's the portions? I don't want.
sending portions one to another and gifts to one another. I can assume it's like food and gifts, how it says.
Okay, so the portions would be like the food. Okay.
Food,
Come,
yes.
come. Verse 23. And the Jews undertook to do so, undertook to do as they had begun, and as Mordecai had written unto them. Verse 24. Because Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the enemy of all the Jews, had devised against the Jews to destroy them, and had cast pur.
All right, cast lots. All right,
that is the lot, to consume them and to destroy them.
All right.
Verse 25. But when Esther came before the king, he commanded by letters that his wicked device, which he devised against the Jews, should return upon his own head, and that he and his sons should be hanged on the gallows.
All right, so look at that. You understand? So now, essentially, that it's summing up what happened. All right, and even telling you, understand that not only was Haman destroyed, but even his sons. You understand? His whole family lineage was destroyed. You understand why? All because he was hating on one black man.
Right.
All right. So now so let this be a lesson to all our oppressors who are watching us. You understand? Stay away from us. Leave us alone. You understand? Because the Most High loves us. He is with us. All right. And he will take out your whole family. He will take out your existence. All right. Very good. Very good. Let's finish strong. We got a few more verses to read, and we're just about done.
Come, verse 26. Wherefore they called these days Purim, after the name of Pur.
Yep.
It's like my phone keeps tripping. So
no sweat.
Wherefore they call these days Purim, after the name of Pur. Therefore, all the words of this letter and of that which they had seen concerning this matter, and which had come unto them. Verse 27. The Jews ordained and took upon them, and upon their seed, and upon all such as join themselves unto them, so as it should not fail.
Okay, so that it should not fail, meaning that we should continue to do this. Keep going.
That they would keep these 2 days according to their writing, and according to their appointed time every year. Verse 28. And that these days should be remembered and kept throughout every generation.
When?
Every generation.
When?
Every generation.
Every generation. You understand? Our people need to know this. Our children's need to know this, right?
So I have a question.
Answer.
If I may. Is it kind of seemed like, I don't know, like foreshadowing maybe in I believe it was chapter 2, where it said that it was during the time of lots or Pur that the decision was the decision or the decree was made to kill all the Jews.
Yep.
Is this like an ironic name? Is that why they is called Pur?
I would have to believe so. It's either like the irony and essentially like using it, getting back at them.
Right.
Getting back at them. And it's just like, simply how Haman had his device that was used against him.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So now this day, it happened on this day. Now we're going to remember this day against you.
Right. Most High Christ.
Most High Christ. And the bar. Keep going. Finish strong. So now where are we at? And that these days should be remembered and kept.
Book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 28. And these days should be remembered and kept throughout every generation, every family, every province, and every city.
Oh man! So that all people, you know what I'm saying, Jews, all right, should keep this day and remember it and to not forget, never forget. All right, you going?
And that these days of Purim should not fall from among the Jews. Nor the memorial of them perish from their seed.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? This is a memorial, saying a time of remembrance and a time of celebration. Right? Very good. But now this is a memorial because the Most High did not deem this. Okay, a man of God deemed this, but not the Most High himself. Right? That is why it is not a high holy day or like a Sabbath day. Okay, but it is a day of remembrance, a day of celebration, a memorial. Right? Very good. Keep going.
Khan, verse 29. Then Esther, the queen, the daughter of Abihail, and Mordecai, the Jew, wrote with all authority to confirm the second letter of Purim.
That's right. Keep going.
And he, it's like verse 30. And he sent the letters unto all the Jews to the 127 provinces of the kingdom of Ahasuerus with words of peace and truth. Verse 31. To confirm these days of Purim and their times appointed, according to Mordecai the Jew and Esther the queen had enjoyed them. And as they had declared for themselves and for their seed, the matters of the fastings and their cry.
All right, look at that. You understand? And all this happened through fasting and praying. You understand? Their cry to the Most High God. All right, and this happened because they had a man of the Lord, such as Mordecai the Jew. All right, right?
So, like, sir, if I may,
please.
One more quick question.
All right.
Since it's not a high holy day, do we still do no servile work on this day, or we can still have our employees do work and things?
I won't say that, because there's nothing that says to do no servile work.
Right.
I'm saying there's no order, there's no mandate. I'm saying it's just that to remember this day.
It's not a Sabbath.
Come on, sir.
So
it's not essentially it's not a Sabbath.
Okay.
All right.
Kind of.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Last verse.
Verse 32. And the decree of Esther confirmed these matters of Purim, and it was written in the book.
It was written in the book. And here we are reading the book of Esther. You understand? The untapped, the untouched book, you understand, of the Bible. You understand that the church, like we said, refuses to teach.
Right.
All right. But in the ISUPK, you understand, we teach that not only are the blacks, Latinos, and their Indians the true Jews of the you know what I'm saying, of the Most High. Right. You understand? But every verse matters.
Right.
All right. Don't let it don't get it twisted. All right. Every verse in the Bible, you understand, matters. You understand? We teach and we read the whole Bible. You understand? Right. The Old Testament, the New Testament, and the Apocrypha. All right. And we will teach this in order to save our people from the oppression that we are suffering from. All right. Most High in Christ. Were there any other questions or comments? Suck your cap. Anything? Most High in Christ. All right. And with that, we'll say Amajim. Praise salute. This feast day in Israel. Amajim Shabbat. Amajim. Rock. All right, what we just said, may the Most High, in the name of Christ, bless you. Got Matah, hands down. Charge, turn to the sisters. Sisters, Amajim, you're able. In Israel, Amajim Shabbat. Amajim. Rock. Excellent. What we just said in the Hebrew is may the Most High watch over you in the name of Christ. Y'all give Matah, hands down. That's dismissed.
Israel, the ISUPK presents the Lord's 56th annual Passover going down right here in Atlanta, Georgia. We got a whole bunch of events lined up for y'all, including the annual lamb slaughter. You already know. Then it's the Hebrew Academy Trials. Oh boy. Next we got the Children's Party. Then you know we got General Muhammad's Scripture Breakdown class and the Hebrew Academy graduation. Lord's 56th annual Passover. Pay your Passover fee. It's only $200 to get all these exclusive events. Real black culture. The general's in attendance and the stage is set. It's going down. April the 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. This event is only for the black, Hispanic, and Native Indigenous people. We got a week full of events from April the 9th and the 13th. But remember, you gotta pay that Passover fee. It's only $200 to get every event exclusively. Here's the itinerary for the Lord's 56th annual Passover. April the 9th is the annual lamb slaughter. April the 10th is the kids party. At 7 p.m. later that night, General Muhammad's Scripture Breakdown class. April the 11th, the Hebrew Academy graduation. Later that night at 8 p.m. is the all-black party. April the 12th is the Lord's 56th annual Passover. April the 13th is the Feast of Unleavened Bread. $200, 17 years or older, pay your Passover fee. See you in Atlanta, Israel. Shalom.
Hey, James, here's the motivation. If you don't hop on the beat today, then we'll hop on the beat tomorrow. It's always tomorrow. He said, nah, yeah. He can turn it. He ain't say nothing. Make it 10, that's what I heard. Yeah. So, we'll get you a cup. Yeah, right. Next time. Okay. Yeah, that's how you prepare everybody. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I agree. Yes, you got it sick, especially with the ginger.
Belong. This is to all Israelite groups and all Israelite communities. No matter what rainbow uniform you wear, red, white, purple, and white, all white, it don't matter. You should all treat the ISUPK like your weird Miss. You, it is what you all need, because none of you know what the fuck you are doing. I pray you understand.